Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome to the Weather Now. Time now 11:04. Want to do a couple of things here. First, we're going to give you your Safe Touch Security First Alert Tropical Update. Then we're going to talk about the final installment, final day of Hurricane Preparedness Week here at WTOC. And we will talk about that Friday forecast and look ahead to this weekend, hour by hour. Look at radar right now, what radar may look like through the rest of the day. So that's what I'm watching here. I want to begin with the tropical update. Debbie up here. The remnants of Debbie, north central Atlantic gone, kind of absorbed up into an area of low pressure here. Cold core, not tropical, pretty typical for this time of year. So Debbie's off the list. National Hurricane Center no longer tracking that, but we do have something new to keep our eyes on. Again, we're watching it for you so that you don't have to worry. And right now there is nothing to worry about, but we do have another tropical wave here in the, excuse me, in the eastern Atlantic, really southeastern Atlantic, what we call the MDR main development region. This is a spot that we tend to look towards during the latter part of August, beginning of September, during the hurricane season. This is the area that tends to feature quite a bit of tropical development. But right now, we're pretty quiet. Low risk of development with this tropical wave as it moves off of Africa and off to the west-northwest. A 10% chance of tropical development within the next 48 hours, a 20% chance within the next 5 days. Moving into an environment that is not completely unfavorable for tropical development, but there is a slight chance of some tropical development. And as we go deeper into the time frame here beyond this window, as it approaches the Caribbean, it's going to encounter more wind shear. So we have a relatively limited window for some development here, at least how it looks right now. Going to Facebook a little earlier than I normally do because I'm sure we probably have some questions coming in, maybe comments about the tropical update. I tweeted this out. It was getting a lot of feedback, people retweeting it. Of course, every time we mention something about the tropics, people's ears tend to perk up. Hey there, Alma. Thank you for watching. Kenny, happy Friday to you as well. Hey, Diane. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Brandy. Waving back at you. Tasha. Empowered Monica, wishing you an awesome Friday. Caitlin, waving to you. Sandra, happy Friday. Happy Friday, Leslie. Kristen, thank you for watching. So that's the update right now. That's all that's going on in the tropics, but Hurricane Preparedness Week does continue, and I'm going to bring you up to a different weather graphic here in the weather computer and talk about how you can make sure that your home is more properly prepared, I should say, during any given tropical system, whether it be a tropical storm, hurricane, depression, whatever it is. They all pose, different hazards on any given time of year. So bear with me here. I'm pulling it up in my long list of files. We're going to get this going for you. And we're talking about home preparedness today. And you can see kind of, an average home here. Well, you can strengthen your property, make sure that there is the least amount of damage possible during any given tropical system. And as far as your home, the actual structure is concerned, some of the worst damage happens when you initially have one failure, whether that be a window, garage door, or some sort of, structural failure that allows wind inside, and that pressure difference can cause more structural issues, and as soon as you lose the roof, you do tend to have more issues if the roof becomes compromised. And some of the first things to go, of course, are windows, and the common myth is if you tape, it's less likely to shatter, but that's not the case. Boarding up your windows is really the only way that legitimately lowers the risk of those breaking. So remember, board, do not tape. And there are hurricane clips, make sure that it's properly fitted, those kind of suggestions there, and that can reduce the risk of windows breaking, not only saving you money on having to buy new windows if they do break, but also keeping the rain, the wind out from causing any further damage within the confines of your home. Also, garage doors, another area that tends to be a weaker spot in homes. Remember, it's a big open area, not surrounded by pipes, pretty thin walls here, exterior walls, and if you allow wind in there, it's harder to ensure completely that there won't be any other issues within your home. So some of the newer garage doors, depending on your community's building codes, your state's building codes, some of them are already braced. They're already pretty strong, but some are weaker, especially on older homes, older garage doors, especially the ones with windows as well. So good idea to keep these covered, perhaps brace them. Some do come with braces with install, so that's another area to think about. And this is maybe more minor, but you may not think about it, making sure that your damper is closed on your fireplace, because any wind down there can, of course, cause, especially maybe the poorly built fireplaces, or not quite as well built, I should say, to have structural integrity issues, and all that water, all that wind's going to go down your fireplace and in your living room. So a couple things to think about. Obviously, there are more making sure that you're not in a surge zone, doing things, sandbagging your property or around your home if there is a water entry point, those kind of things. It all depends on your location, your specific area. Hey, Ashley in Springfield, Joanne, get you to that forecast in just a moment. Rosemarie, thank you for watching out in Ellabelle. Amanda, thank you for watching. All means a lot. Howdy to you as well out in Wilmington Island. Debbie, you're welcome. Charlotte, Samantha's watching in Garden City. V. Don Kinnison, Faustinite is enjoying the sunshine. Thank you, and thank you for watching. This morning, I got to say, I ran to Kroger really quickly in between some newscasts and stuff, and it was feeling almost with that breeze like a fall-like morning out there with temperatures in the low to mid-70s, humidity not quite as bad, and the breeze was really the thing making the difference this morning. Early on felt pretty good, but we are starting to heat up. Now, before I get to that forecast, want to remind you a place you can always go to 24/7 in hurricane season, before, during, after, whenever, 24/7 to get hurricane information. That's at WTOC.com. All you have to do is click on the weather tab up at the top, then click on the Hurricane Center link there in black. This will bring you to a page that's excuse me, a lot of information. You can see what's going on. Of course, we're going to be updating this. We're going to take Debbie off of the map here. And if a storm were to approach our area, you can look at your community's potential wind impact chances. Of course, right now, doubtful we're going to see anything because we aren't going to see any tropical storm force winds because there is nothing out there. You can also look at projected rainfall during a tropical system. You can see radar tracking rain bands as they move in. That's the weather data portion of this website. But we also have 3 really important sections: tracking, preparing, and evacuating. And under the preparing, we have links to evacuation information and things that you can do prior to actually leaving your home to evacuate, because that'll be under the evacuating section. But also preparing for your home's structural integrity, ensuring that your property losses will be minimal, that kind of stuff. All that information there at WTOC.com. Happy Friday, Jackie, Betty, good morning out in Glenville, Kathy. Sharifa checking in from Coffee Bluff, thank you for watching. Beth Ann, good morning to you in Statesboro. Ashley Lopez, thank you for watching. Again, your kindness and all the kind words out there really mean a lot, especially on this awesome Friday. Temperature-wise, now we're transitioning back to that forecast. Low to mid-80s, pretty common out there. Of course, it's only 11 minutes past the top of the 11 o'clock hour. This update came in about 10:54, 10:55, so these are a little bit old. Excuse me, there must be something in the air today because I have a headache and I'm a little congested. And I think there may be something there. We don't have an allergy report today, but there may be something out there. Let me know in the comments here if anyone else is having allergy issues today. That would be much appreciated because something has a hold of me. Temperatures in the low to mid-80s out there now. We are warming up pretty quickly, though. And as we get into the 90s, I think the chance of rain is going to increase. Of course, a very typical summertime pattern, what we call diurnal. You may have heard Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley talking about that the other evening on the news. Basically, it's a daily process. Nocturnal night, diurnal, day-ish, and when you heat up during the day, the clouds want to grow. Some of them grow tall enough to produce showers, thunderstorms. At night, it cools, the rain diminishes, and we go through that process just about every day. So it's no coincidence that as the temperature heats up, the chance of rain increases. And that's going to be the case today, but not a washout. Let's say that right off the bat. Temperatures in the low to mid-90s, and we're talking isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Let's see. Brandy says, okay, there must be something in the air then. Brandy says, my son is having allergy issues for the past 2 days. Mine kind of began yesterday, and I'm really feeling it today. Brandy says, thank you so much. Faye says, take Zyrtec. I try to stay away from medication like that because I get really tired and just blah. Even the Dayquil, I know it's not supposed to, but, maybe Motrin or something like that, and just, whatever, hot tea, something. I try to stay in that realm. It's not terrible. Thank you, Ashley. Again, I'm not feeling terrible. Very happy to be here talking with y'all, but definitely, I was just curious because it's hitting me a little yesterday and more so today. I was just wondering if there's something up in the air with all the rain we have been having. Mold spores tend to be high, probably grass pollen high too. Typically, those don't bother me as much, so just interesting to see what may be out there. But again, thank you all for the comments and the suggestions, and I'm not glad you all are relating to that, but it is interesting that other people are having the issues as well. So, hour by hour, 11 o'clock, we are beginning dry. 1:30 to 2:30, we're still pretty quiet. I think initially this afternoon, nothing going on. But as we get into the later afternoon, this is a similar pattern. The past 2 nights, we've had this. Middle Georgia storms, North Georgia storms. They form out here. We're just soaking up the sunshine, us coastal Georgians and South Carolinians. But by 6:37, whatever develops to our west, because the steering pattern, the winds above our heads, way up there at the tops of the storms, pushing them east, and they're going to be moving in our direction. But at the same time, remember, we begin to lose the heat as the sun begins to set. By 10 o'clock, we're cooler, not as much energy for storms to use. We have a bit of a cap, like a lid, set up over the atmosphere. And rain weakens, but it's the western communities, Statesboro, Swainsboro, Santa Claus, Baxley, Glenville, Reedsville, Hazelhurst, Douglas, not quite as far east as Blackshear, but, kind of that area, 84 and points off to the north and west. Metter, Millen, Sylvania, Screven County, Allendale County, over to McRae, Dublin, Hawkinsville, Rebecca, Tifton, that 75 corridor. If I had to draw a line from maybe Furman, Statesboro, down to Glenville, Baxley, down to Alma, Homerville, points along and west and northwest of that line, you guys have an increased, and gals, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Still going to be isolated to widely scattered, but don't be too surprised if you feel, or if you hear the thunder, feel a few raindrops this afternoon, more so this evening if you are out there. The rest of us, breaking down that weekend forecast. Again, it's not terrible, but we do have rain chances to talk about this weekend. In fact, I lowered rain chances a skosh because some models are showing things coming in a little bit drier. Just letting you know, in case you notice, because a lot of you noticed the changes in the forecast over the days, just explaining why we lowered the chance of rain this weekend into early next week. So here is the kind of rain threat graphic that we talk about. It's middle of the road. It's not a washout, but the afternoons have the kind of rain chances, casually keep an eye on. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And those are the times to watch for showers and thunderstorms, specifically, again, afternoon, early evenings for the most part. Janine says, get an eddy back, works wonders. I may consider that. We will see. I'm not sure, though. That's a lot of effort. I know I'm complaining they're not, taking up a solution. But, again, thank you guys for all the feedback. Can't even talk this morning. Russ says, come sweat it out outside. I don't know if I feel like running with this headache going on. Again, thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Patricia. All mean so well. And I'm thinking about you all as well that are having the same issues. I think I'll get through it just fine. We're good. We're good to go. Just a little bit of a headache, but it is interesting that something's bothering folks out there this afternoon. It really began with me yesterday, so the fact that some of you are saying you began to have issues a couple days ago, resonating with me. Yesterday is a little more so today. So here's the forecast. It really is pretty simple here. It's going to be hot, humid, the highs low to mid-90s. Rain chances every day, isolated to widely scattered. More so moving out of West Georgia tonight or this evening, so more of a late afternoon, evening rain chance here. But early afternoon to late afternoon, kind of your typical summertime pattern with a little bit more unsettled weather than what we have had for the past couple of days. Weekend early next week. So Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley is in the forecast center now. Going to be updating the forecast time now, 11:17. He'll have that for you coming up, the news at noon. Want to show you another way that you can watch the newscast here on the WTOC weather app, really the news app as well. Any WTOC application, you can stream the newscast. Not only do we have pre-recorded videos like the one you see up at the top from this morning, breaking down today's forecast, but also radar. So if you see the dark clouds this evening out west, maybe flickers of lightning on that western horizon as you plan dinner and after dinner, you can check what's going on in the radar. And even more importantly, you can stream by just clicking Watch Live. Meteorologist Jamie Ertl and Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley tonight as they walk you through the rain chances and have your complete weekend forecast, which Dave will have coming up here in less than 45 minutes on the news at noon. Again, you can watch it on TV and in the app. Wishing you an awesome Friday afternoon and a wonderful weekend, guys.